I was just so incredibly shy. Even like talking to you now, I probably wouldn't have done that when I was younger. I would have been like, because like, you know, I mean, you're only what, 19, 20?
19.
Yeah, so like at your age, my God, I would not be standing in someone else's house talking to them about just random shit. I started kickboxing when I was 19, bearing in mind I'm 35 now, and I was just bored. I went along to this class and it was in Bournemouth, and yeah, I got on really well, really enjoyed it, and then once a week turned into twice a week, it turned into 3 times a week. Before I knew it, I was going pretty much like 5 times a week. Within like only a few years I got quite high up and did my first fight, won it, and I came away from it thinking, wow, that was amazing. That's like the best thing, you know, the most thrill-seeking thing you could ever do. Then went on to do my black belt, which I obviously passed, and I was actually his first ever female black belt. This call came and saying like, oh, do you want to do someone's pulled out, do you want to do this British title fight? And I won. I remember going to a particular show and I'd seen this guy who was a local Bournemouth guy called Mo, and he was doing I think it was a world title fight at the time, and he'd won, and just the way he fight and everything else, I was like looking at him and I was like, that's what I want to be. I want to be a world champion. And I went up to him and I said like, you know, will you train me? And he's like, you're a girl. That was actually his response. So I said, well, you know, I want to be like you. I want to be a world champion. And it took me a good few months to kind of convince him to actually train me. And he knew of me. I'd gone to a few of his sessions, but I was that girl, like $1 Million Baby, in the corner skipping, not even know how to skip, but just kept coming back week after week after week. I'd go there, get beatings, go home, come back, cry, come back, and I was always still there. So he's like, okay, well maybe, you know, she does actually want to do this. I went for a European title, I won that. So at the time then I had 2 British and 1 European. And then finally the call said like, we want you to go for a world title. Did this world title, got it. And then eventually I got to the 3 world titles. Through all of this, obviously I have had different relationships, but they've never really like worked out, because my partners at the time were always saying like, when are you going to quit now? You know, it's enough, blah, 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 blah. Give me more attention. But if someone's telling me that, I'm just like, on your bike, it's just not going to happen.
Move lots. If you're hiding injury, you have to move more.
30 seconds!
You got to move double the amount you normally would.
At the time, I was in another relationship, but I'd knew of Jordan, and I'd actually trained with him a few times, but it was like, always found him quite attractive because he'd just get undressed in front of me and I'd be like, okay, I don't know where to look, and he would be like he'd get ready for like training, he'd just whip his shorts off, he got his underpants on, I'm like, okay, right. Like this. One particular session I burped in his face, and this is probably why he remembers me so well, and I don't know what I'd eaten, but it fucking stunk. And yeah, so whether that kind of made an impression, I don't know. Now he is 5 years younger than me, and again, only recently we realised that a lot of my fights I'd done, he'd been on my undercard, and I didn't even know.
It's a very male-dominated environment. It's very kind of, you could
say testosterone fueled. There's a lot of guys trying to puff their chest out, look bigger and be louder than the next person. So for a woman to step into the fight game, it's tough, especially considering they got to do double the amount to prove themselves. But I think Nat's kind of done that. She's won everything that she needed to in her field. She's won like the highest titles that were there. She's beat everybody, and I think that's why she started drifting over into sort of other areas, because she'd won everything that she needed to there. But it was always tough. Like, she'd always have a target on her back. She'd go to training sessions, and no one would ever go light on her. For me, there's a clear difference between a man and a woman, without sounding like sexist or anything. Guys generally are a little bit bigger, a little bit stronger, so you'd expect them to hold back a little bit more, whereas none of her training partners ever did. They were like, who's this girl coming in the gym and showing us up? So they basically beat the crap out of her, but she kept coming back and coming back and coming back, and they kind of just couldn't get rid of her. And in the end, she started beating up guys who were bigger, stronger, faster, heavier. So then when she jumps in the ring with a woman, it was a different story.
Here's my poo face. I nearly poo pushing the bunches out. It's like more punches I've ever thrown in the whole fight.
Zach, he wasn't planned, obviously. He was a lovely surprise, and I was really a single mum, so obviously that was then my focus. So where fighting was my focus before, Zach was then my focus. He's very intelligent, you know, not so much that kind of he wants to beat people up like me. He actually does love to draw. He loves his maths. He's just, yeah, like I say, really, really intelligent. He, you know, Jordan always says that you can see him doing some kind of, you know, engineering work, you know, something where he has to use his brain and, you know, use his hands. He's very creative.
Got this for my birthday, Mama.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, you got your birthday money?
Yeah.
That's true.
I don't know if it's the same for girls, but when you're a boy, when you're at school, you always get into that argument with a kid, like, oh, my dad could beat your dad up, and like, everyone could beat my dad up, you know, no, there's not a single fighter in my family, so if someone goes, oh, my dad could beat your dad up, I was always like, yeah, they probably could. Well, I think Zach, as he gets older, there's going to be that question, oh, my dad could beat your dad up, and he'll be like, yeah, well, my mum could kick the shit out of your dad.
He actually does a class with me on a Thursday, so he gets to have a go on the pads. He's not amazing, and obviously that's coming from me, and I will be the first person to criticise him, like, no, you're not doing that right. You know, he has got his flaws, he will muck around, he will do this, that and the other, he will dive on the floor, but he will, you know, get down to it when he needs to. He's pretty much like an all-rounder kid at the moment. There's nothing that he's kind of sport-wise he's kind of he excels at, and he loves football as well. He's been chosen for a football team, but I don't think that will be his thing. I'll never push him, but or like be that pushy parent, but I will always support him in whatever he decides to do, whether it is boxing, kickboxing, or football, if he must. He's got all the gear, but I don't know if he has any idea at the moment. Yes, you can have it.
There's not left.
Yes, there is. There's a few.
Not enough.
I'm the kind of person that I'm 100 miles an hour while I'm working and everything else. The moment I get home, it's like someone's turned my batteries off. I'm just like, oh, that's it, I'm done. Jordan was joking around the other day because Zach was here doing his homework with me. He was reading to me, you know, like he does like every week, and I was falling asleep. But then apparently every so often I'd be like, no, that's not the right word, and then I fall back to sleep again.